Hey, it's your book hound coming at you today with another book review. If you like what you see here, hope you'll subscribe. We got lots of books that make us want to howl, so to speak. Special offers, all kinds of fun stuff coming at you. So hope you'll be with us for more than just today's review. Today we're going to talk about Central Park West by James Comey. Yes, that James Comey, believe it or not, the former director of the FBI, has written a crime novel. And I must tell you, I was not expecting much from this book. In fact, I was expecting not to like it because I've seen this before, and the publishing industry, God bless them, they love a promotable gimmick. Oh, a celebrity, put his name on a book, maybe it'll sell a few copies no matter how bad it is. So I was prepared to be like, oh boy, James Comey trying to do a book. But the truth is, he is a very good writer, and I would say I was surprised, but I actually heard him speak once, and if you watch him like on television stuff, you can see there's a lot going on with this man. He's a lawyer. He's. I'm not surprised that he could write a very effective courtroom thriller, and obviously he knows the legal field, amazingly well, having been in this role. Now, of course, he's a controversial character, as you probably know. He is the person who disclosed, very late in 2016 that the FBI was investigating Hillary Clinton, which potentially affected her losing the election. He was then fired by Donald Trump because he refused to go along with Trump's request that he not investigate the Russia, scandal or whatever. And so he's a complicated guy. He kind of did the wrong thing, did the right thing. Who is he? We don't really know. But anyway, so he's not just any celebrity gimmick author. He's got a history, and he's more than just a set of talking points. You can see that in this book. So basically, Central Park West, which, as you may know, is a very famous street in New York City on the side of Central Park, where a lot of really, really fancy apartment buildings are, and very rich people live there. And the beginning of the book, we have the former governor of New York State, who is obviously based on Andrew Cuomo. He's like an Andrew Cuomo sort of character, a guy who has been completely disgraced and thrown out of office for being a horrible lech and abuser of women. And we see him being murdered by a female assassin. And very quickly it turns out that this female assassin certainly looks like his estranged wife. The woman who came in and out of the lobby of that building wearing a certain outfit with sunglasses, it looks just like his ex-wife, and so they arrest her. And it seems like just a slam dunk for a murder conviction. And she goes on trial, and she's a woman who you care about, and like, wow, she's gonna go to prison. She says she's innocent. And then a lot of stuff starts to happen around this case. And I don't want to spoil it too much, but basically there's a mafia guy who says he really knows what happened. It wasn't her. But before he can testify, he's killed too. And we're introduced to a character named Nora Carleton, who is I guess, an early 30-ish federal prosecutor who is looking into this, and she wants to prosecute the mafia. And the book gets into this very thorny dispute between the federal people in New York, the Southern District of New York, the U.S. Attorney, and the New York State District Attorney. They're in rivalry over this case, and this is Comey's territory, and he takes you into this very deep, richly layered, struggle between these different agencies and all of the sort of minute and interesting courtroom maneuvering going on. He's very strong in this, and he keeps up the suspense very well. And Nora is partnered with an investigator named Benny Dugan, who's like this kind of big, tough guy, New York cop kind of persona who's been bird dogging the mafia for many years. And he's, intimidating, but he's also a big teddy bear. And he and Nora have this kind of like, brother, sister, father, daughter kind of relationship. And they're out to get the truth and figure out what really happened. And I don't want to spoil it, but there's a lot going on here. And so I have to say, Comey did a very good job with this, and I suspect this won't be his last book. And my only criticism is certain aspects of the book feel a little bit dated, like the mafia, the Italian mafia in New York. I don't think is quite as big of an issue as it now as it was like in the 70s and the 80s. I think they're sort of less influential, but here they're made out to be kind of the big crime force in the city. And also the Nora character is she's a little bit dated in the sense she's kind of this, Comey literally says she's married to her job, which is like a concept I think of as from sort of a previous era. But anyway, there's some funny stuff too, like the U.S. attorney who's like this disgusting, adulterous pig is obviously based on Rudy Giuliani, who was at one point the U.S. attorney in New York City. And I just, whatever, there's some scores to settle there, because if you know the backstory, Giuliani was allegedly behind some of the trouble that Comey had at the FBI. So, there's little things like that. If you're into that kind of stuff, it's fun to read. So maybe check it out. Central Park West by James Comey.